Well, you're looking at the bottom of the frame of my El Camino. Here's the bottom of the car, and this frame is stupid the way they made this because, look, I can see that right there. Well, if you see this right there, that opening, that's like right to the front. So in other words, all the water just blasts inside the frame, and I know it's got holes in the bottom, but it just fills up the whole frame. I'm thinking, why the hell did it even have this open like this in the front? That's stupid. I guess that's the way they stamped it out. I guess that's how they stamped it out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the you see there's some surface rust in there. I'm going to take the pressure washer, go over it really good, and with some soap and all that stuff, and then let it dry. And I'm going to hit it with something. I don't know if I'm going to hit it with chassis saver or rust killing primer or enamel, something, man. Then I'll follow it up with truck bed lining. Because this is one thing I hate about, when a frame rots out. It's got one hole in it, a little hole in it, and these typically freaking screw up. They typically screw up, man. There's one spot, I'll show you where. Yeah, right there. You can see two of the holes are actually, I think those are factory holes. But the one oblong hole is not. And these are like factory holes here. I'm gonna blast this thing out and get it as clean as possible. And then after it's all blown out with air and all that kind of crap, we're gonna go ahead and coat the crap out of it the best I can. And the final step, the very, very, very final step, will be Cosmoline on one of those tanks with that you pump up. It has the pressure wand on it, the needle that sprays in all directions. I'll just stick it way down in there, and that should stop it, because this is not a trailer queen. This is a car to use in lousy weather too. So this thing fixed up right now. Yeah, actually those holes on the other side, I think they drilled holes in there. There's no rot per se, like rotted out frame, but typically what happens is the water comes in here. This is on the 78 to 86 Chevelles, Malibus, Buick Regals, anything like this G-body, the El Caminos. You'll come in the front there, and it's just a big open hole, man. It just comes in there, it goes up along the top here, and I know there's holes in here, but still, once the dirt gets packed in there, forget about it. So I've been blasting it out with this. Right now I got it off, but I've been just getting this pressure washer in here. You don't need to see that exactly because it's really noisy. It's like I had this thing a long time, it still works, but I've been blasting it out. Some mud's been coming out, and I know it hits the one side in here, but I'm going in this way, that way, and it's like bouncing off the opposite side and hitting all around in there. So because the water's got nowhere to go, because it just hits in there and it bounces back, and so it's getting everywhere. And then I'll let it dry, then I'll blow it out with air, and then we'll coat it a few times. And it's good to know that when I looked coming around this side, yeah, I thought this was rot, but it's not. It looks like they drilled holes here. They were drilling some holes for something. It's not like, if it was rot, it would be all weak around there. They might have had, tailpipe bracket or some bullshit over there. I don't know what they did, but I could fill that in, I guess, too. I mean, if I want to. That's what I probably will do. Probably will, but then again, it's extra place where stuff could get ventilated out, But fill that up really good. That frame will hold together. Because typically this whole section, just if you're up north in the snow belt, this whole section of frame right here collects all the shit. That thing is gone. It's gone. But this thing's actually in pretty good shape still, so It's a long painstaking process. I just get out here every once in a while and I go to town, amongst other little bullshit projects. And what I did was I got it the other side from the opposite side. In other words, inside this frame down in here. I actually cleaned up all the frame up in here. This is all cleaned up in here. There's like the brake lines going back there and stuff like that. That's what's going behind here. So these are all been coated with rust killing primer, enamel, and all that kind of stuff. And that was, that was a time consuming process. And I got the fuel line coming up through there on that side. And actually it is painted, but a lot of stuff I've done before has held up pretty well. A lot of this floor is pretty clean. It's not much really rust on it, just a little bit. But we're going to get inside this frame after I blow it all out with air. And but I'm going to let it dry for a couple days. But it looks like it's doing okay. It looks like I'd keep after this shit forever, and it's just a forever process. It's never finished. Rust never sleeps, so I just keep going after it. But I see my transmission shift shaft seals repair. Looks like that held up good. There's no oil leaks back there anymore. So it's an old car, but it's pretty damn reliable. That's what counts. And here comes the cat. See? See her? There she is. Right. I got to set up a little house for her tonight, so because it's going to get cold. Well, what I decided to do was with this can of rust reformer. This is the main stuff I want to put on there first. Hi, cat. What are you doing, man? You want some more food again? I use a drill with a little drill bit, and just push this into it from like a can of WD-40, right? Man, you're going to be overdoing it, dear. So, what I could do here is, you see these holes up here in the frame. Yeah, if I get my camera here. Come on, baby. Getting me up below. See these holes? I could just spray the stuff in there at different angles. And do I feel like getting out of tripod? No. No, I don't. So, what I can do is this thing can turn. It should work. Come on. Cat, you're a pain in the ass. She's bumping her head to my hand. Thank you. You know how the cats are, especially women cats. Anyway, so is that working? No, not working. Well, I just changed. I drilled out a new one and see what happens here now. Probably work. Oh yeah, there it goes. Here we go. So let's get this thing done. Oh man, Mr. and Mrs. Cat had her food done. And her food, her favorite. Turn this. There we go. So this thing can spray in all directions, which is cool. It can spray in all directions. And we can get up in here in this hole. Turn the can all different ways. So we're home free for this shit. Down in here. Yeah. Well, you get the idea. By doing that, I'm not going to need any special wands or anything like that. I can just keep reusing this. There we go. There we go. And there's holes on the other side. Then I can take this, I can point it down like that. Just point it down so it can go in here. Okay. Like I said, I get the holes on the other side. Now, actually, I have a borescope camera. I really want to, after it's just dried out, I can go in there and check the hell out of it. Yeah, but you get the idea. It's a slick idea. It's simple. It's cheap. So I just pressure washed it, blew it out with air after just let it dry for a day. And now I'm getting inside of it. And this stuff is rust reformer. Turns rust, converts rust, and makes it into like a primed surface. So I'm going to put the camera down, the light down, and all that shit, and go to town with this. But after I get it with this, I can use the same method to get it. Well, I can use rubberized undercoating, paint. Then if I want to do a final coat, use Cosmoline. So even if I was driving this up in Pennsylvania or upstate New York, even with that brine on the road, I don't think this thing would rust too easy. And because it'll be triple protected. Most of the rust on this thing happened in the first 8 years of its life. When it was a construction vehicle in Pennsylvania, and after that it was in northwest Jersey, but the guy took pretty good care of it. It was in a barn. Then I had it. It was in California, and it was been in Florida. So, but it got really all the rust really started the first 8 years of its life. After that, it was very minor. So, take good care of this puppy. You can see, and it's dripping down there, and I can get that off with a pressure washer or a sandblaster. No big deal. Just want to get it really coated good. So I'm very happy with that stupid little method. That's all it is. Just a little thing like that, and you can turn it, make it go any direction, and there's holes on the opposite side of that frame. I'll get in there. I might even do a video of what it looks like with a borescope later on after it's all done. You'll see. And that's the way you really want to know. If you put a borescope through there with the computer and record the video, you'll know, and it's got an LED light on it, you'll know it's 100% good. But that's really for engines and stuff like that versus inside frames, but I could use it for that too. So. Yeah, and this can's running out to give you an idea how fast it's going on. It's just pouring on there, see? So, it's in there. What's cool about this stuff, it's primarily a rust converter. So, it's turning any rust chemically into something else, and it's coating it. So, it's really doing a good job better than just covering it up. It's actually making that rust turn into something else. I don't think this has ever been done on the inside. So, this is going to be something pretty solid. I'm happy with this. I'm glad I kind of took my time on this to think of something. And just doing that with this simple little bend on there and using a drill bit to open that up to the right size where that thing fits. That's the perfect way to do it. Well, you heard that cat, Miss Cat, meowing in that video, and I forgot I just put this at the end. You can see she's under the, I made this little box for her. This is, I just took a picture of her. There's a heated blanket down there. And she's content as all hell, so you heard her meowing. I just fed her. So, if you're wondering, you heard her going meow, meow, meow. She's bugging the hell out of me. Boy, she's happy with that blanket. So there she is.